aggressive buyer when they're going down. I mean, I feel much better when they're going down.
To the moon, you already know. It's the macro perspective that always wins. This is when they start preparing themselves for these massive pumps that are happening. Man, this is the time when you should be looking to load up. Let's get into it. What's going on, everyone? Market Monarch here. I hope y'all doing blessed, man. You already know how I'm doing. So what I got for y'all today, man, these plays really might just get you in a completely different place. So you might want to stay tuned, you know. But anyways, without further ado, you already know how we do. Let's get into it. The first asset that I'm trying to dive into is GPUS, and man, y'all don't even know GPUS to the moon. You already know. So now, as we're seeing this market pull back, the real question is, should we be buying again?
Aggressive buyer when they're going down. I mean, I feel much better when they're going down.
Wow! I feel good. I knew that I would not. I feel good. I knew that I would not.
You guys got to remember everything that GPUS is doing recently. And if you guys don't know, go check out the Patreon. You know, I got a collection for it too. So it'll help you understand more on what this company is. But basically, this is the backbone behind AI when it comes to the States. All right. This isn't just one of those play around companies. Now, I'm not saying that it can't come back down, and it won't, because it is right now. But if you understand how stocks work, they work like a swing. And if you don't, now you know, right? In order to have a stronger move up, you have to pull back first. That's why this move wasn't so crazy, because this is a time when smart money is trying to pile up cash. This is a time when a lot of businesses aren't really trying to pump the markets because they know it's coming. They're not trying to be up right now. So when you guys seen this pullback, all this really is just a strategic realignment of the funds, because they knew that it wasn't the time yet. All right. So when I'm looking at the dates, I suspect that it'll be about March is when we could potentially see a pump. Now, we could see a pump in February, but I have a feeling that it's not going to be February. And the reason why I say this is because there is a lot of events happening in February, one of them being the Crypto Investor Week. And I think that this will be one of the biggest events of the year. If you guys noticed, there is a lot of stuff happening before the month of February. And in past market cycles, February has always been the month that the markets tend to flourish, right? But March is now the month when I think the markets will flourish. And the reason why I say that is because March is always dead. People are usually like in their bed when it comes to March. Nobody's really paying attention to the markets, at least. And through past history, it's always just been February is like the big bullish month. You see a strong pump in January, and then February is like an even stronger pump that pumps even higher. And then, you know, the market kind of resets for the summer. But
a rule of thumb you might want to remember, whatever the great majority is doing under any given circumstance, if you do exactly the opposite, you'll probably never make another mistake as long as you live.
We are in the process of seeing a complete global shift. Not even just a paradigm shift, but the way we approach the financial system, like, it's crazy. So if you're looking into GPUS, I promise you, it is not too late, okay? And I'm not saying start throwing your money in, start buying up, but it is the time to start looking into potentially picking up some shares.
Don't forget the first rule, and that's all the rules there are. I mean, that if you buy things for far below what they're worth, and you buy a group of them, you basically don't lose money.
This is not financial advice. This is me just trying to present an opportunity that I've seen in the market. And this is the time when you should start trying to align. And the reason why I say that is because this is the year when the wealth gap it will get even bigger than what it was before. And I think, honestly, if you're not familiar with the markets and you're sitting there thinking to yourself, well, how do I know when the markets reach here? Whether you have a brokerage, whether you have a TFSA, I don't know what the case may be. You could even just open up TradingView. Set up TradingView. It's free. Set up an alert. All you got to do is you hit the right click. Okay. So you see what I got right here, right? Add alert. Once you add an alert, right, it'll ask you where you want it. You can move it to wherever you want it. So this is where I think you should be setting an alert at that 20-cent range. If you want to set a limit order, do that too. I set a bunch of limit orders when I'm not trying to be active in the markets. And it's a good way for you to know that, all right, if this level hits, I'm getting in regardless. So if you set a limit order, now this isn't me setting a legit limit order, but it's just an example, right? You could go limit order here. So when the market hits here, you're automatically buying 500 shares, right? And then you could put a take profit. Now there is this thing called a stop loss. So if you are that concerned about how deep this market would go, set a stop loss, You don't have to sit there and hold this type of position. But all I'm going to say is if you have a stop loss and you're investing, have a bit of room when it comes to setting those stop losses. Like when you're trading, it's different. Typically, you're setting like a 1% to 2% stop loss when you're trading. But when it comes to investing, you have to be willing to let that market kind of pull back a little bit because it happens all the time. You're not always going to get a perfect entry. But if you can get a good entry, you might just be one of the biggest millionaires of the century.
Try to explain to people their great advantages, their edges they have, and that they should get involved in stocks.
Right. If you guys watched the market structure video, you would have heard me say before that the market works in trends and it works in cycles. We are currently in a cycle. All right. So the trend that we're seeing is a bunch of small caps are pumping right now. And a bunch of money is going into these small caps because the money that's going into a lot of these small caps are going to be what changes, or not changes, but revolutionizes a certain sector of business when it comes to this changing world order, right? This isn't something that's just random. This is strategic. And this is the time when we need to start looking at the assets that are doing that.
Industries. They're in the publishing industry, they're in the chemical industry, the paper. Why don't they just stay with that industry? You only need a few stocks a decade. They're not discouraged, they just think it's a gamble.
Yeah.
So therefore they go forward and they bet on one stock for a week and a half and it goes up and they make $2 on it. Then they sell it and they buy something else. When 3 years is over, all they've done is generate a lot of commissions and they've probably lost money. 10 years after Walmart went public, 10 years after Walmart. 10 years after it went public, it's a 25-year-old company now.
Right.
You could have bought the stock and made 50 times your money on it.
And the reason why I'm presenting this one too is because there's opportunities like this that people miss out on all too often. All right, so GPUS, man, where I'm looking to buy up right now, I'm looking to buy at 20 cents. Now, I do suspect that it could potentially push a bit lower. I think honestly we could be sitting around that 0.18 range at some point. And if we are, I am genuinely not concerned because I know what I'm getting into.
I'm not saying anybody should buy a stock. I'm just saying if you purchase a stock, you ought to do certain things. If you purchase a stock and do certain things, you will do better. If you're not ready to do those things, you should keep your money in the bank. Keep your money in a money market fund. Some people aren't willing to do the homework. They don't have the stomach for it. They should stay out. They're not doing Betty any good by taking half their life savings and putting in the stock market. Or they've been lucky enough to save $50,000 or $60,000 to send their kids to college, and one's going to start in a year, and they're going to take all that money and put it in an equity mutual fund with a 1-year horizon. That's doing no one any good. I'm not.
It's not going to get here overnight. Okay, it is not. It's likely that we wouldn't even be at that point until either the end of the year or potentially even into next year. But if you are getting a part of it now, you are getting in at a real good time. This is your time to shine, so don't miss out on the opportunity that's being presented. And if you aren't in the markets, if you're in Canada, go open up a TFSA or even open up a brokerage, put $50, $100 in, right? I'm not telling you to do this stuff, but, if your money's sitting in the bank, it ain't making you money. It's just depreciating. So really, why not, right?
Need this money in a year? Do I need this money in 2 years? Do I need this money in 3 years? Longer term, the stock market's been the best place to be. Last 10 years, last 30 years, last 130 years. But if you need the money in 1 or 2 years, you shouldn't be buying stocks.
Why not? Everybody always talks about how they want to be financially free. They want to create more. They want to be wealthy. They want to do all this stuff with money, but they're not willing to take the risk in order to get the money. You got to take risk in this game. There is no reward if you don't risk something. Okay, so GPUS, man, it's on the verge of pumping. Not to mention, if you guys look at the crypto assets right now, I'll just use Bitcoin for example. GPUS follows very closely to Bitcoin. It's literally its whole strategy when it comes to how it's been expanding is built around Bitcoin and XRP. But it's primarily Bitcoin. And GameStop is the one who originally started that. So if you guys seen the movie Dumb Money, you'll see that guy who's Kitty or whatever, and he was the one who caught GameStop before it turned into what it did, and it ran up to like $100, right? This is the same thing that we're seeing happening with GPIS. That's all I'm gonna say, okay?
GameStop's up about 5x from when I uploaded those.
That's all I'm gonna say. It really is GPUS to the moon. I have a higher price target than $10. Like, I'm going to be holding past $10, but that's just like okay, if I was somebody looking to get in, that's probably the point that I would be looking for to sell. Now, you can sell before that. You don't have to hold for that long, okay? What you choose to do with your money is your choice, but if you ain't taking advantage of this opportunity, man, you missing it. All right, so when we're looking at Bitcoin right now, what are we seeing? We're seeing that there's resistance in this market. Does that mean that Bitcoin isn't important or that it's not going to go up even higher? No. All it means is that it's realigning itself. It's a strategic repositioning of the funds. Now, there's a big event that's happening in February, and it's the Crypto Investor Week. And I suspect that this is the week when all of these institutions, all the smart money and everything, they might be fully integrated with their positions in the market at this point in time. That's mid-February. And that's why I'm also saying that I think March is really one of those times when this could be the leap. This could be a strong pump in the market, and we might be able to take some real solid profits and then reposition ourselves for the next market pump. Okay, and I'll be keeping you guys updated with my GPUS play. I promise you that. All right, so just stay tuned for that. But if you guys see right here, the market's coming back down for Bitcoin. It's going to be the same thing for GPUS. GPUS was moving down before Bitcoin even really started pulling back, right? And the reason for this is because they know what's coming. They don't care about the short-term price movements because they know about what's happening in the longer term. Y'all already know what I always say is the macro perspective that always wins. Now, the next play that I want you guys to look up on is Jet AI. Man, I talked about this one a while ago, and I was talking about a solid position between like 35 cents and 30 cents. That's my fault for that, but I'm saying that you're still in a really good position. It's not like you're missing out. So stick with me now. You got to have faith in these type of plays. And the biggest thing is you have to know what you're getting into, okay? GPUS is the AI backbone. It's been around for some time, right? It's not to say that these guys are the only, hyperscale data center that's doing what they're doing, but these guys really are, they are one of the only ones actually doing what they're doing. If you really look into it, you don't have to believe me. I'm just saying, this is based off of the research I've done, okay? I'm not giving you guys some bullshit right now. Now, when it comes to Jet AI is now becoming the AI infrastructure backbone for Canada. So if you guys didn't see that video, go check it out. It's called Jet Fuel and Gene Juice. You'll hear me talk about You'll hear me talk about Jet AI, what they're doing, who they are, and what they're starting to become. Now, you currently are seeing their price at 0.24. Man, this is the time when you should be looking to load up. Warren Buffett said it the best. He said, somebody asked him about what he thinks when stocks are going down. You know what this man said? buy more. He said he doesn't give a shit because this is the time to buy more. You just have to understand what you're getting into. And that's not to say that it's a guaranteed play, but it's more guaranteed than not. All right. And when I'm looking at price targets for Jet AI, I think quite frankly, they have an opportunity to, who knows what this market could do. That's all I'm going to say. But 2 price targets for you, if you don't really know what you're getting, like how to go about this. I have a price target sitting at 169. That's the price target that I got for Jet AI. And when it comes to a short-term price target, I'm looking for 48.93. When it comes to the long term, I have a price target sitting at $1.69. And I think that this asset has the opportunity to run well past that. But these are just some price targets that I have in case you're not really into that holding game. You got to understand these things take time, you know.
Warren, what do you consider the most important quality for an investment manager? It's a temperamental quality, not an intellectual quality. You don't need tons of IQ in this business. I mean, you have to have enough IQ to get from here to downtown Omaha, but you do not have to be able to play three-dimensional chess or be in the top leagues in terms of bridge playing or something of the sort. You need a stable personality. You need a temperament that neither derives great pleasure from being with the crowd or against the crowd. Because this is not a business where you take polls, it's a business where you think. And Ben Graham would say that you're not right or wrong because 1,000 people agree with you. And you're not right or wrong because 1,000 people disagree with you. You're right because your facts and your reasoning are right. Warren, what do you...
You don't become a millionaire overnight, but in a sense you kind of do. Because you held on and had faith through everything that was happening, right? And this is when people really get rewarded, when they're patient. You have to be patient. This is the key to this game, is strategic alignment of your own funds and staying patient and waiting for the real fun to happen. If you guys want to see some, okay, this is an asset that I was just talking about not too long ago. And this is XCF, SAFX. Right now, these guys have seen 100% increase today. I was talking about this asset well before it pumped, man. Well before it pumped. So if you guys got in, congratulations. If you didn't, that's okay. I'm not trying to show you this to flex in your face. I promise you. All I'm trying to show you this for is to show you that when the assets start to really come back down and we're seeing the market sit in consolidation, this is when they start preparing themselves for these massive pumps that are happening. And this is the small cap season. You guys got to remember, if you didn't see my last Monday market mashup video, go check it out. But this is what we're about to see with GPUS. It's likely going to start dropping into this 20 cents range, maybe even a little lower. And as we get around this range, I guarantee we'll start seeing the market consolidate for probably until about mid to end of February. Like, we might see some short pumps in price, but I suspect that it won't be until after the crypto investor week. That's when we'll really start seeing these prices pumping these in GPUS at least. So if we're looking at Jet AI right now, what I'm seeing with Jet AI is they're having almost the exact same setup that SAFX had before their market pumped. Okay. Now, this isn't to say that Jet AI is going to pump to the moon, but it's getting real close to that time. So you don't want to miss out. You want to get in soon, not when it's late, because that's when you start chasing. You don't want to do that. So Jet AI, man, it's a real solid play. SAFX, I'm not saying start diving into the company. The pump has happened. I don't think they're at time for a breakout yet. So if you're looking to get into SAFX, quite frankly, I think if you're getting in at this range right here, you're good. Like around that 20 to a cent range. It probably might drop. The lowest I could see it dropping to is maybe 15 cents. But right now, I don't even think we're gonna push back down here. There's a gap right here that the market's trading into, and this is in post market. Keep in mind, okay? But I'm thinking that we might move to like 22 cents, 20 cents, and then we'll see XCF continue to pump. I have a price target sitting at 42 cents, and then I also have a price target sitting at $1.55 for XCF. So, if you would like my opinion towards these three assets, Jet AI is in a real good spot to start looking for some buys. GPUS, I don't think it's there just yet, but I do think it is really getting close to that time. If you don't have that much money, man, even $50 might just change your life. So don't neglect it. And if you aren't trying to get a part of this market movement, you will get left behind. You will get left behind. If you are having some financial struggles in your life, these are opportunities that could help you out a little bit. Now, it is going to take time, so you got to be patient with the grind. But when that time does come, we'll know. So that's all I got for you guys today. I didn't want today to be a long video. I just really wanted to give you guys a heads up, see what's happening, and hopefully get you guys in some assets before the real money starts happening. Anyways, stay blessed. From the best. Peace out.